blast off,
Now that we got our technical difficulties worked out,
and we
I
come
think we're
back
good.
perfection.
I'm telling you, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel important.
You should. Are you all situated?
Rock on, bitches.
What were we talking about? Gen X?
Yes. And the X is GenX. That's what I got to say. The power to the
Street
Gen
light.
X's.
Street lights. I'm home at the street light.
Yep. Well, I didn't have street lights where I grew up. It was where the moon was above the hills. When the sun goes down, you come home. Okay. Plus, I was always scared of the dark, so I didn't like to stay out after dark because it was scary on the ranch. I swore something was going to bite me. I just, nope. Yep. Mom would say, before the sun goes down, be home. Okay. Me and my little four-wheeler.
I had bikes.
I had four-wheeler.
We had bikes. I had 10 speed.
Well, the thing with us is that we lived on such a big ranch that you just couldn't walk down the road to the barns and the chopper and the cuber and all that. You had to ride something. I had a little motorcycle, but I crashed that and said, I don't want to play no more. Then I had 4 sheep, and I sold my sheep and went and bought myself a damn four-wheeler. Where that went.
And we didn't have to wear helmets. And
My mom and dad made me wear a helmet, except when they're not around, and then I took it off. If I didn't wear a helmet, then I knew that I better go slow because I'm going to get my ass kicked. But that's how we were raised. I didn't push the buttons. I did not push my parents' buttons. Fuck no. Okay. So when I get mad about their decisions, any kid does. But do you know I never even brought somebody home in high school? Never. My dad was too big and he scared me.
My high school experience was I was dating a deaf guy in high school, and he was infatuated. It got bad. It got real bad. He had to stop him from visiting and trying to make himself at the house. Like he'd come over, and yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I didn't bring people over.
I didn't bring anybody either. Home. And then, if I snuck out, where was I going to sneak out to? The nearest flipping hayfield? I lived on 25 miles of dirt road growing up, and then another 15 on pavement to get to town. So, it wasn't even worth sneaking out. They had a party down the road a little ways out because it was out in the desert. And they're like, you going to come? I'm like, no. Why do I want to get caught on the edge of our ranch? I'm not smart.
Well, you didn't do that kind of shit back then.
No. Well, that's a lie, because one of my best friends that we would sneak out of her house, or we'd sleep on the lawn with our sleeping bags. And then after everybody went to sleep, we'd take off. But where I lived, you didn't sneak out. There's nowhere to sneak.
Had to
and
go.
If I turned my car on, they didn't hear because they were in the other end of the house. See the lights? Nope, nothing. So yeah, I'm going to be out for a while.
The fun times of free living.
But see, that's why I think I have different ways when it comes to Gen X and whatever they call them, millenniums and everything now, because
it amazes me because we were raised, and I don't see how the gen underneath us is so absent. They should be raise them. They should be better.
But there again, we're getting back into the ADHD, all this. Instead of saying, hey, you're a lousy parent, or you need to figure it out, you're going to put your kid with somebody or whatever. No, it was all, oh, my kid has ADHD. I could still leave, but, or I can get assistance for that. Okay. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm on anxiety medicine and depression medicine, but I'm not considered those words, and I just don't believe in them. Never have and never will. Now, if I see something like, like I had somebody tell me my son, oh, he has ADHD and all these mental issues. No, bitch, you brought him out. The person that's doing it needs to go get checked, because now my boy is perfectly fine. Does he have a little bit anger issues? Yes, because he gets frustrated. But doesn't everybody get frustrated and get mad?
Do you want to see what it looks like?
He cries a lot. Well, yeah, everybody cries. It's just he shows it in front of you. I've seen Dustin cry. I've seen my dad cry. I've seen
cry. It's not abnormal for guys to cry. It's not abnormal. That's where society has gone wrong with labeling everything. Stop labeling everything.
Just because a person shows their emotions doesn't mean that they're fucked up. I'd rather have somebody show their emotions than keep it balled up, and then when it goes boom, it's a big boom, you know?
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's amazing the generation under us isn't a little better. We did raise them, and we were raised that way. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of our generation was raised super shitty.
Yeah. Well, when it was shitty for Gen X time, it was shitty for Gen X time. They
Gen
lived in
X got
cars.
raised shitty. They had,
Yeah.
and some of them weren't very fortunate to be able to bounce back and
But there's not as much homelessness than there is now.
it's gone fucking skyrocketing. That's why you can't even
But
afford
you
to
think
live.
about
You
it.
can't afford to pay rent. You have to have 2 jobs to pay rent,
Mhm.
just to pay rent, not including anything else.
Well, that's the whole
Food,
thing.
gas,
I agree.
crazy.
Well, and that's the whole thing. I mean, when I remember days that when you couldn't afford the things, people didn't go like, they'd go up in the hills, they'd go off the grid. And there again, you got to remember, I grew up in Nevada in a small little town. I was very athletic, very into my groups. So I might not have, maybe my parents sheltered me from that, but I
Trying
don't
to
remember.
think because I grew up in Reno. Grew up in Reno and I lived in like downtown Reno. Back then it was called downtown Reno.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to think of was by far none of the homeless stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You had train riders or you had like, city hoppers, but they weren't
And they didn't call them homeless. They called them free spirited.
train hoppers or
Hmm.
yeah.
And today, if somebody says, "Oh, you're homeless," oh my gosh, you're so bad. You're not. There's a guy walking around here in Susanville that is a multimillionaire, but he does not want to get involved in all this group shit and rent a house and everything else. He just finds his little place somewhere, wherever he does, somewhere on the river or wherever he is. I don't know. But, and he lives his life. He can still go up and eat his dinners. I'm sure he has shelter somewhere. But I mean, homeless today here in town, it's stupid. It's the way they have it. I mean, they're trashy. I don't get it.
I don't understand the hopelessness that they cause. Like, I don't get it. Get you're homeless, I get whatever, but I don't understand the disrespect.
Why do you stay homeless? There's enough help out there that can help you get today. Not saying it was last year or the year before or whatever. But for the most part, they have places. Oops, they got assistance. You choose to be homeless at times. Maybe I'm wrong. I listen to myself say that. I sound like such a bitch. I really do. But I guess we're all allowed to have our own opinion.
True. You can be homeless and stay homeless without just I'd like to the numbers of to help them. Are they going to be helped to go the right way?
Themselves.
Is it going to be helpful? Because there are some that you will help and they'll go miles. But you've got the ones that you help and you have to stay helping because they become permanent fixtures.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a true fact. And then, but it's hard to put it into words. I don't like people that use people.
Sad because there is a lot of stories. The homeless, there's a lot of different stories, a lot of different situations to where every one of them is individually different.
Yes. Yes.
Some choose to stay that way just out of spite, some have zero compassion to try to better themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
purpose of life is to be expensive everybody. I could not try to put myself into that shoe and I don't know
Their shoe
if
doesn't fit.
if I could, I could be homeless. I mean, anybody can be homeless here. Who knows? It may become so expensive you don't keep it or whatever the case may be. We'll tell.
I feel bad for some of the people that, I don't know. Gen X was not this way. I mean, We got our asses handed to us. We get in trouble, we got our asses handed to us, but in a few hours we were okay. If you hand your ass to anybody today, they'll go on and on and on for months on end. And it's like, why are you doing this? It's done. It's over. And with Gen X, and I think the ones below us, the next generation, they, if they did have any kind of mental issues or whatever, they went and got help. We went and got help if it came to that point. I am so tired of hearing people say, I got to get help. I got to get help. I got to get help. Okay. It's right here. I know some people
I
can't,
think
but
men have gotten the short end of the stick too. That men have gotten an extreme amount of short end to stick to that, because men have had that instilled into them that they don't have feelings. They're not supposed to have any kind of emotion. You're the wrong generation.
right.
You're a man, you don't do that. And I think it has broke some men not being able to do that. The generations below tend to realize that, oh my gosh, the upper generations were better than their own generation. Got a lot of our lower generations, like, me, I say like your 30s, no, yeah, 30s, your high end on the 20s, high 20s, and your 30s, really wanting Gen X to look at them, to pay attention to them, to mentor them, to positivity, because their own generation, their own age group, or above them, or even below them, have no social skills, is what I was told with one person. Like, the generation doesn't have social skills, doesn't have that whole conversation piece. I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Crazy. It's almost as crazy as like cursive reading. Very many people read cursive.
No. I have wrote cursive before and they're like, I can't read it. I can't read it.
It is crazy insane.
But they can read computer typing. What happens one day? You see all these movies that they make. What happens one day if that does come and you don't have the computers, you don't have all that, and you're going to go back to our Gen X age where you have a regular phone line, you have write letters, just like the bullshit when the post office say, "Oh, we're going to weed out sending mail." What?
You know what? You know what's funny is at work they say, "Go paperless. Let's go paperless. Let's go paperless." Spend more paper going paperless than we had paper. I'm like, I wrap my head around it. Let's go paperless, but we're going to take more paper to go paperless.
You do know that there's been more times at work and things that I've done that they want to go paperless, so you do it all through your computer and all that. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna write this shit out, and then I'm gonna put it in the computer. Does it take me extra time? But guess what? When it didn't get sent or anything else, you still had it, and you didn't have to go redo your shit. And there's some jobs you can't redo your shit.
Know how many times I've lost my shit on the computer because he decided to route up with another facility, and that's the greatest place. Let's bank up with them because they got great internet service. Who and why that decision came about is beyond me.
Yeah.
I get the yawn.
It's because you fell asleep this time yesterday, so your body's automatically going to that.
Yes. That was crazy insane. I didn't get out until 7:30. That threw my whole, and then I didn't go to bed until I think it was like midnight. And I got up at like 5:40.
I went to bed
See,
at midnight
it was so
with
funny.
my Darth Vader mask.
See, I seen your snap and I was like,
and I was out. I was out. Well, what did you do for fun in your Gen X years? And stop your goddamn yawning.
telling you. Because I grew up in Reno. Grew up on, most of the time, I lived on a ranch once where I got the horse and the goat and chicken experience. and I lived in Reno. So that was more or less Reno when it was small back in the day when there was nothing out there. I mean, it was cowboy town. You an hour to get from Reno to Carson because you went the
Those are the good
old
days.
to the chocolate store.
Uh-huh.
I want to go to the chocolate store. I think it's still open.
And there's one in Carson City too, or Mound House.
Same. We would these around we were always around like fields, so there was always cows. So we would go fucking push each other in cow piles. Don't ask me why. We tried cow tipping. Then we would go in the back of Sun Valley and we would take all the trucks and things like that. And back then it was Toyotas. Went up in the mountains and we would do bonfires and have parties. That was back in my parents, you would say, hey, going to so and so's house and off and away we went and bam, gone.
I don't know
Parents
how
were
many
so
times I ran from the
happy.
cops. I ran from the cops so much.
I
I
had
should
a
have went to jail.
oh, back in the day they had the old Nugget little alley, got the awful. Uh, back in the day when I was hanging out with different crowds, was wearing white pants, and there was this chick who said something about my mom. I just turned around and I looked at her and I just started wailing on her. I wailed on her and then I put her into the wall. The girl that was with me, Vicky Morton, it's like flabbergasted. We ran from that point to Wells and Martin Street,
Oh my
Reno. So I
gosh.
mean a good chunk mile away. Good chunk a mile away. We hot tailed it and man, in the basement. I pulled off my clothes. She gave me some sweats and stuff. We went back upstairs, sitting there, and I thought the cops were going to come. And oh, it was just back in the day, the thrill. See that stuff now, you're definitely caught.
Anger management.
You're definitely caught. Definitely getting classes. You're definitely going to jail. Couldn't find you. Outrun them.
Now you got cameras and they'll see you running to each spot.
They'll infrared your ass.
Yep. Or that beautiful chopper above.
Or freaking start droning you.
Dustin told me today that there was an accident on 395 going up the hill out of Bishop, and it was a wreck, and the truck was on fire, and somebody was shooting with a drone that works for him, and he almost got fucking put in jail for it over an incident. You do not fly a drone over a fire or an accident. I'm like, oh, I'm like, is he? And Dustin's like, well, he didn't go to jail. I'm like,
there's a
maybe
fucking shock.
And it was by the DOT cop that caught him when he was driving a semi.
Company vehicle, I bet too. Oh, gosh.
Courtesy clap.
Yeah. Add him to the 25 dumbest things you've ever done before. It's like all the rubberneckers that like to take their phone and be like, as they're passing by the accident.
Exactly.
And it's not bad enough. They're like, ping, 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 or video it. But then they hop on that thing called social media and go, blink, blink. No, you just did.
Just like that accident out
Somebody
here
in that
you lost
accident
your
can
friend.
now come after you for pictures and shit.
Well, and then just like that for your friend that was involved in that one accident that she passed away, the other gal hit the other truck because she was rubbernecking it and killed a dentist. Why are you so nosy? Do you really want to see bodies? Let me tell you, bodies are not fun to watch or see or look at.
It's
devastating.
They'll be the ones to call you out when you're looking at them and, they're the victims and you're the one going.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it almost makes me feel like if you really want to look at an accident and see somebody seriously hurt or passed away, go to the morgue, go to the hospital, go volunteer at the hospital. You'll see people come in from crashes.
I'm sure there's sites for that stuff. There's sites for porn. There's sites for
everything.
There's a site for everything.
And and then so she hit that guy and killed him. So did she enjoy seeing that now? Now you get that picture between it makes me so mad.
Mad.
When
Mad.
they had the apartment fires here a couple years ago, and it was against the hill, I went to it to see if I had to get ready to take our trailers out because if it was gonna go any farther, they would have asked us to come out. Okay, I had a reason to be there, but I wasn't driving down and going right beside the fire and then going right beside the fire, and I mean, it was just one after the
Well,
other after the other.
lights make pretty people go like it's like bugs on the light.
Yeah, and I
See
get it.
light.
And I get it. You want to see what's going on,
You
but
want
keep
somebody to
out of
see
it.
you when you're at your weakest point in life or discombobulated?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's people bitching that because the fire happened and they haven't cleaned that mess up yet, it makes it look junky. They don't have the money to fucking
Lot of
clean it up.
work. Oh, man, that
And they're gonna
is
where we have yeah.
big. That is majorly like that's not just that you got. I think you would have to shut down Main Street because that's just
They're going to have to.
so much like they're gonna have to continuously keep water on it going while they're moving stuff so that way the air and everything just is not
What we're talking about, because we just kind of jumped into this, is St. Francis is an land monument here in Susanville. Somebody decided to go in there and they didn't like it and catch it on fire. And it burned mostly all of it and it spread to different little places and they got it down. Then they thought, oh, we
convict
have
her
people in
finally.
there. Yeah. And then we have people in there, maybe. We don't know if there's anybody in there. So for the first week and a half, they had cadaver dogs in there, people working on shit, and then boom, all of it stopped. Right now, there's so much asphalt paving going on outside of town up 36 that goes right by the St. Francis, and people traveling for the summertime, they can't really cut it down. Yeah, they can't shut the street down because that street goes right through Susanville and they don't really have time to do it. So and then now and like you said, they're gonna have to put water on it. They're gonna have a fucking fire department there monitoring it.
Mm.
You know? It's and then they're gonna have to bring in this huge equipment stuff to get those rocks out. Just like they said about the grandstands that were caught on fire, what, 2 weekends ago? Now they're trying to
Yes.
hurry to get it done.
Okay.
Baseball, yeah, because it's hurting
Yeah, because
baseball.
they use that field.
College does. And the kids use it all the time. That's one thing Susanville is so known for is the baseball and the soccer. It's just I
Little town. And we're coming up to
and the
fair.
yuck, not going. It's too hot. If it's already this hot now, can you imagine what it's going to be like then? What's that look for?